Welcome, teacher education students, to summer 2021. This is EDUC 1301, the Introduction to the Teaching Profession, and I'm very delighted that you're part of this course. And I know that this summer is basically going to be a very fast summer semester. As you know, 16 weeks is the regular semester course, and I am squeezing everything into 5.5 weeks, and that's what I literally do. So that means you are going to be moving quickly. A lot of information will be due, but I know you can do it because I've had very successful students in the past get through summer session courses in our department. So I'm excited for you. I am your Professor Fei Lee, and what I am going to do for this instructional video is that I'm going to give you a little bit of overview of what you'll be learning throughout the semester, and then a little bit of information about me. First of all, the semester, like I said, is 16 weeks, just kind of squeezed into 5.5 weeks. And what you will, the navigation of this course is that you'll have some information that will be due, and activities, assignments will be due in midweek rather than every week you're going to have assignments due, because every week is going to be a lot of information. So the first week, I'm going to split it in half weeks, so I want you to keep that in mind, okay? So week 1 will be due, part of week 1 will be due midway this week, and then the other half will be due the following Monday. And usually my due dates are on Monday or Tuesdays, but keep just track of the days and the times in which everything is due. Usually everything I have due is at 11:30 p.m. of that day. But just in case I decide to change it, please make sure that you look at that time, not just the date, because that time is just as important as the date is. Okay, so that's a little bit about the course. You're going to be learning about, introductory information about the teaching profession. It's very comprehensive. You can think of this class as a survey course, learning just fundamental information about what it's like to be a teacher, aspects about education, students, school, governance, finance. There's a whole bunch of information that you'll be learning. Lesson plans, curriculum, things of that nature. And every week you'll have multiple chapters due, because we will go through the entire textbook in this 5.5 week course. Additionally, you'll also be required to conduct classroom observations. And you have the choice of doing face-to-face or virtual, which is videos that you can view on your own in your own time. That requirement is a state mandate, and I can't stress that enough. It is not a Lone Star College mandate. It is not my mandate. It is required by the state. That means if you don't fulfill your 16 hours of required observations, you will fail the course no matter what your current average is. So keep that in mind. You are juggling the coursework and you're juggling your observations. So you have to be able to, balance your time management. Okay, that's very, very important. And that is a very important skill as a future teacher, is managing your time. So you're getting already a level of practice in this class. Okay, so a little bit about me. I'm your Professor Fei Lee, and please, I would rather you address me as Professor Lee. In the event that you don't know how to address your professor doesn't really have a preference, it's always good to have a sign of respect to your professors, because first of all, we've all gone through graduate school, and going to graduate school beyond bachelor's degree is a feat in and of itself, and it's something that's something that all students should recognize and respect. So if you do not see a PhD or an EDD at the end of a professor's name, which is a terminal degree, that's the highest degree professors can obtain, then you would call them Professor so-and-so. Now, if they do have an EDD or a PhD at the end, they most likely would want you to call them Dr. so-and-so, okay? But Professor so-and-so is a good default. And like I said, you can address me via email, Professor Lee. I have, I like to keep things formal with my students, and it's really important when you start establishing yourself as a teacher that you do also have a clear boundary with your students. As we all know, there's a lot of things that have happened in the past, even currently, with teachers that, wasn't even intentional, but teachers didn't put a boundary line of where they are in relationship with the students. And it's really important that you do recognize that boundary and help the students to recognize the boundary as well. All right. And professors as well, even though students are of age at the college level for the most part, we are not allowed to have fraternization with our students. It's really important that we keep everything professional and have a very strict teacher-student relationship. Okay. I do want to also give you a little bit of information about myself. I did graduate from Baylor University in my undergraduate degree, and I actually majored in psychology because I wanted to go into the field of psychology and pursue a doctorate in developmental psychology. But it turns out that I wrote this paper my senior year, and it was on attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and I was so intrigued by it, and it was basically in a school setting in my educational psychology class. I got really, really intrigued, so I took a gap year after I graduated from Baylor and decided to be a teacher's aide so I can see if teaching was something I really would be interested in. And it ended up being something I was interested in. I taught at a middle school in the Klein ISD district, and it was a Title I school, which means over 50% of the students are on free and reduced lunch. They're basically close to or at the poverty level. And it was a very, very good experience, so I really enjoyed that. After I finished that year of my gap year, I went to graduate school at University of Houston, Maine, and pursued a Master's of Education. And from there, I actually worked part-time at a preschool and taught preschool students at an after-school program, and I really enjoyed that too, preschool students. So I got middle school experience, preschool, and then when I graduated with my certification in my master's program, I started teaching high school. So now you could surmise that I've gotten experiences working with preschool all the way through, because I taught elementary school students too at the after-school program, all the way through higher education. So I have a good working knowledge of what is developmentally appropriate when it comes to lesson planning and so forth at certain stages of youth and childhood and adolescent development. Additionally, I am now currently in a doctoral program at the University of Texas at Austin, and I am at the tail end of my program, so I'm almost done. I'm at the dissertation phase, which is basically a long paper. It's going to be about 200 pages, where I've conducted research and reviewed a significant over hundreds of articles on my topic, which is transfer students, and that's you. You all are transfer students, and I'm going to be conducting my study this summer, and then writing on the study and the results and discussions and conclusions of the results the remainder of this semester. So I'm hoping I finish by December. That is my target date. And if I don't finish in December, then I will finish in May of next year, which is fine with me because that means only 1 year I'm done with my doctoral program. And I'm so excited about that. And some of you all may be in that same boat. You may be finishing up and trying to graduate too by next year. So we're going to be running this race together. I'm also a mother and a wife, so I know exactly what it's like to be a student full-time, to be a working full-time, and to be a parent and a wife also. So juggling all of that is a significant amount of work-life balance, and it's hard, but there are going to be seasons in your life where you're just going to be super busy, and then there's going to be moments where you're going to be able to breathe and relax and spend some time with family. But you've got to balance all of that, because as a teacher, that's what teachers do. We do have to manage our time, and we have to balance time with family, time with work and friends and so forth. And that's what I'm doing as well. And, even beyond that, I'm also part of organizations. I was faculty senate president for 2 years. I led a department in teacher education for 5 years. I started off at the English department in our at Lone Star College. I'm in my 15th year already at Lone Star, and I can't believe that 15 years have already passed by, but I'm very, very grateful to be working at Lone Star College. It's a fantastic community college, and you are getting really, really a wonderful foundation to your future bachelor's degree pursuits. So that's a little bit about me. You got a little bit about the class, and I really wish you a really productive summer session, and I know you will be productive because I know you will be successful as well. I am your champion. I do want to see you all become teachers because we need good teachers, and I know all of you have the potential to do great things in the world of our teaching profession. And that is all. I will see you throughout the semester.